Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel, Facebook Live, and Periscope on Twitter. This is your boy Rich Taylor, aka Dollar, aka Richie Taylor, aka Not a Dick Taylor. New channel name. Hope you guys like it. Thank you to Sith Rule. He kind of got my mind going. I need to send him something. He had an idea for a channel name, but it was too, I think it was like too to the point, but it opened a ton of context. I mean, it added a ton of context to me, to my mind, and coming up with this name. So I messed around on TubeBuddy with the algorithm. And this SSPEC media, Spec media, scored 100% on the front end and the back end. And I was very surprised. Obviously, SSP is short for super short print. And, you know, what's the other thing we do? Comic speculation and investment videos and live streams. So I thought, hey, how about SSP Spec media? And I don't know, it's, I know at first it seems kind of cheesy, but after a while, and I look at the design that I come up with, I kind of like it. I like it much better than Popcorn Culture, due to the fact that there was already a Popcorn Culture YouTube channel, and I didn't know that at the time. So I had to change the spelling from culture, and I had to change it from an L to a 1 in culture on the second word. And a lot of people said they couldn't find me. It wasn't doing very good on the algorithm. It was barely in the middle. So I had to do something about it, and I just couldn't wait anymore. I'm working too hard. So I hope you guys like this live stream and my channel forthwith. Cards, card breaking, unboxings, comic hauls, comic speculation and investment. We're going to be doing sports card investment sports card market reports. We're also going to segue that into Beyond Wednesday's YouTube channel, along with the House of Stein every Friday night on the comicbookinvest.com Hot 10 and the Beyond Wednesday's Almost 10 we have every Friday night. And yeah, hopefully we're just one big family, and hopefully we can just create a flow of our friends and circle and our new subscribers and bring everybody together, because that's the point of this. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. If you are not subscribed to Spec Media, the artist formerly known as Popcorn Culture, then you're doing yourself a disservice. That's just my opinion on it. I've been watching my own videos. Finally, I had never watched my own stuff. Now I've been watching my own stuff, and I'm like, wow, a lot of this work that I've been putting in, I actually enjoy it myself. So I think that you guys will too. The card breaking videos, I'm having a lot of fun with editing and stuff. And I miss doing these live streams on my channel. So we're going to be doing first appearance Friday. It's not episode 3. It's actually episode 4. My bad. It's been so long since then. We're going to be doing Buy the Dip again. And then we're also going to be doing Hump Day Heroes, as I usually do. I couldn't do it last weekend for reasons you guys already know. My professional job, I should say, I'm doing a lot of stuff on the back end when it comes to licensing and background checks. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Double click that notification bell to all so you don't miss any of the notifications. A lot of people are saying they're not getting notified when StreamYard is activating the live stream and the videos. So make sure that notification bell is double click to all. And if you can give me a like, I'd really appreciate it. There's a couple of people that are disliking my stuff. There's about 4 or 5 people, and it's okay. I get it. But if you're doing it on purpose or whatever, you know, that's maybe something that you need to deal with on about yourself rather than me. So I appreciate y'all. Let's get into this. Here we go. Don't forget, Popcorn 99 is still active. That's the code. You can get 10% off your next Gemini comic supply order. You can get as low as 25 mailers if you're flipping comics or selling any kind of a collectible literature, and you want safe shipping protection during the in-transit USPS process. Use Popcorn 99, all one word. I'm probably going to change that within the next month or so. So get your 10% off. It's a good deal, especially if you're buying more than 25. If you're buying 200, 1,000, or whatever it is. All right, guys, let's start. James Gunn reveals another character set to appear in the Superman Legacy adaptation media for the DC. I don't know if it's. Let's find out. Is it DCEU or is it DCAU? Let's get into this. So this is it's a few days old. I mean, it's the 12th today. This is from the 8th. This is from Charles Murphy, and he's saying that in many ways, James Gunn's Superman Legacy is sounding more and more like a throwback. So I'm gonna go through his key books with you guys too as well. But let's get back into it. Just because of he put that line in there, he said James Gunn's Superman Legacy is sounding more and more like a throwback. So that's why I'm going to show you guys some key books regarding this character. Though it is expected to be set in the modern continuity of the all new, all different DCEU, Gunn has made it clear that the film, which DC Studios co-chair Peter Safran said will launch the new DCEU, will explore some old-fashioned values, and we'll see a Superman who stands for truth, justice, and the American way. It's an interesting challenge for James Gunn because the perception that Superman represents a bygone era has made it tough for modern writers to crack new stories that resonate with modern readers like you and me, obviously. However, a pattern is emerging that might give some insight into how Gunn plans to take on that challenge. And part of keeping that old-fashioned spirit of Superman alive might be surrounding him with old-fashioned characters. Obviously, Krypto is one of them, making Kal-El feel a bit less like a fish out of water, flopping everywhere, nowhere to go. I just don't, because the Kal-El, the Clark Kent character, that those Superman movies were so good with General Zod and stuff. But I mean, the Clark Kent character, he was too goofy for me. He's just, I don't know. He just seemed too much like a pussy. You got this guy who's got the huge chest. He looks like he could put up 3 plates when he warms up on each side. And, he's just, it was like clumsy and shit. So that's, I think, what he means, but a bit of a less fish out of water. Let me continue. To that end, James Gunn has already confirmed that Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, is set to appear in his new Superman film. Olsen was a fixture in the comics in the late 70s and early 80s Superman films played by Mark McClure. That Olsen came complete with an innocent, aw shucks, Mr. Kent persona that was in stark contrast to the CIA assassin version of the character that briefly appeared in the Snyderverse. It seems far more likely that Gunn's version of the character would be in line with the original interpretation of the character, helping establish a more old-fashioned feel around Superman. All those old-fashioned lines, it sounds as though James Gunn is set to drop another one of Superman's friends in Superman Legacy. In fact, it sounds like it'll be Superman's actual best friend. Get it? Superman's best friend. See what I did there? Krypto the Superdog. While promoting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with Chris Pratt, Gunn jokingly said he'd cast Pratt on the on-set reference for Krypto. When the interviewer at the premiere of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 asked if he had just gotten a scoop about Krypto's appearance in the film, James Gunn confirmed that he did. He went on and said, when Warner's recording, okay, so the reporter went on and he first tweeted this. We are getting Krypto in Superman Legacy. Fire, fire, fire. And then this is from at DCU World from May 8th. When Warner's was courting Gunn, the studio gave him his pick of properties, including Superman, though Gunn never got far enough along to seriously consider tackling a Superman movie. The filmmaker did take a shine to the Man of Steel's superpowered dog Krypto during his comics research, which makes sense for a man who turned a talking raccoon into one of Marvel's most popular big screen characters. So I think that's pretty interesting. I actually like this character. I think he's a really fun character. Let's get back into this, and then I'm going to show you some books that I like. That some of them are actually really affordable. They're pretty key issues, and I think that they've already popped because I think Key Collector did a key issue alert, and you know the books usually move when those alerts go out. But once the dip begins, you might want to put these books on your watch list. And just so you know, I don't own any of these books, but I am in the market for every single one of the books that I'm going to show you. So hopefully I get a lower price than you. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, let me go on and finish this article. James Gunn has always been a fan of crypto, and dating back to when he first started to work at DC, he explored using the character in a project. Back in 2021, we erroneously reported, that's Murphy's Multiverse, Charles Murphy, we erroneously reported that James Gunn was developing a crypto project for Warner Brothers, but Gunn's interest in the character has clearly not waned. Adding crypto to the mix to further ground the story of Superman legacy and those old-fashioned values Safran talked about. A man's best friend, a Superman's best friend, a boy and his dog. However you put it, there's a certain sentimentality to the idea Superman having a K9 sidekick with him on his new adventure. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited. Let me go ahead and hit the chat real quick, and let's look at some books. Hey, Sith. So I'm sending you something. Thank you you opened my mind for my new channel, title. I know to a lot of us speculators, old school collectors, it sounds kind of cheesy, but I do card breaks and I do comic speculation. I thought it just made sense. And then the algorithm, it just makes total sense. So I love it. Thank you. I'm going to send you something nice. Let's hook up on DM. Hey, John, what's up, man? Oh, Dollar Ben Fodder. That was my original YouTube name back in 2017. I don't know. Am I still a moderator on your channel, brother? I hope I am. I got to make John and Sith Rule moderators on my channel. I've actually met John. We hung out during the pandemic, I think it was. We went to a bunch of shops and we were digging, and he actually witnessed what I have told him before we went there. I used to tell him that Jeff from J&J Comics just consistently yells at me all the time, and he got to witness that because Jeff was basically berating me in public again. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I never forget that day we hung out. It was so fun. John's Comics with Kids is a great YouTube channel. I highly suggest it. It's good for the whole family, especially if you have kids. Thank you, John, for showing up. I really appreciate you. Heineken, what up, man? Hey, I appreciate you, brother. And thank you for the comments on Beyond Wednesdays and House of Stein's channels, especially on the Friday night shows. It means so much, and you come up with some really good stuff. I appreciate you, brother. AOA, my guy. My 798 adventures, number 210, 1955 are finally due. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I think Charles Murphy is a pretty reliable person, but he doesn't know shit about comics. I hate to say it, and I don't mean to sound rude, but like he's just talking about how this character is all about the 70s and the 80s. Man, he shows up in 1955. Good comment, AOA. John's Comics and Kids goes on and says, I'm definitely more interested in an old-fashioned or old-school approach to Superman. I need a palate cleanser after the Schneider era. Really? I have mixed feelings about the Schneider era, but I totally know where you're going with that. Let's see, AOA alludes to his last comment, says, I'll pick up Action Comics number 6 versus Office Boy Jimmy and a dollar bin. John's Comics and Kids continues and says, plus if they want to adapt Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, they need crypto. So yeah, I mean, I think we make some valid points here. So if you guys don't know, let me go ahead and get you to that here. Let me switch it over here. Oops. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So your first appearance of Crypto, the super dog, is right here, I guess. Is what is this? Adventure Comics number, was it 215, I believe? And he's on the cover. I never read this book, but I am definitely going to read this book. I don't know. It's got a 10-cent price, so you know it's from the 50s. It's a Golden Age book. It looks like a really tough book too. Really tough, tough and high grade, tough to find, cheap. So good luck. It shouldn't be going too crazy right now because it's been a few days. I mean, it's still probably up on the FMV, aka fair market value, because of the key issue alert. And remember, we don't have Marvel Studio spoilers subreddit anymore. You know, with that 10 million plus subredditors or followers, they're all gone. All those mods that got all that information and it just leaked out to all these scoopers and or whatnots, it's gone. So we have to actually do our own diligence. We actually have to follow these guys. These scoopers are actually turning into writers. You know, when I go to their websites, they used to have news on their websites, MCU or DCEU news, and then they'd have rumors. Now it's just all in one because that Marvel Studio spoilers subreddit is got the kibosh. So here's your second appearance of Crypto the Superdog. He's also on this cover. This looks like let's see here. God damn, I'm getting old, man. This looks like it. I can't see the number, but it looks like Action Comics. Does that say 214, guys? Let me know. I can't see it, but because I'm blind as a bat. Let me see if I can yeah, 214. So Action Adventure, or I'm sorry, Adventure Comics number 214. That's pretty cool, man. I think this character is so cool. I'm really excited for him. First appearance of Crypto with Superman, and this is also a Golden Age 10-cent book. This is Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. This is issue number 29. This is your first appearance of Bizarro Crypto. So when Crypto becomes Bizarro, this is also in the DC Golden Age era. This is Superboy, I think number, what's it say? Number 10, I believe. Is that number 10? Is that what it says? I can't see it. It's too faded. So like I said, I don't own any of these books. I'm old as shit. My eyes are going bad. And I'm just learning about this stuff. But I did about a day and a half worth of work and did some digging for you guys. So yeah. So here's your first appearance of Bizarro Crypto right here. This is another tough book. I've never seen this in the wild. I've never seen it online for a deal. But I've also never looked for it online. I have looked for Superboy and Adventure Comics and Action Comics, Golden Age, Silver Age, and early Bronze Age in the wild, but and online, but I've never looked for this one. I'm definitely going to be looking for this one because what if Crypto comes to the DCU or DCEU or whatever you want to call it, and he ends up being Bizarro Crypto? It's pretty interesting. Or maybe later down the line, could be a long-term spec play. So I think it's an interesting character. Here is a Silver Age classic. This is Adventure Comics issue number, I believe it's 293. This is your I believe this is our early 12-cent Silver Age book. Now, you got a lot going on in this book. You have the second full appearance of General Zod, which I don't know if you guys have been seeing trailers and stuff, but the actor casted Michael, I forgot his last name, that plays Zod. He's also in a really good follow-up to the Waco series called Waco, The Aftermath. I'm watching right now. So good. But anyways, they've been showing him. They've been showing General Zod on these new commercials and trailers and teasers. It's been... So I don't know if he's going to show up or not, but it could be just a flashback when Clark's like telling a story or something, or Kal-El's just telling a story or whatever. But hey, he might be coming back. You also got the first appearance of Bizarro Lex Luthor, first team appearance of the Legion of Super Pets. You have Beppo the Super Monkey, Comet the Super Horse, and in which, by the way, Comet the Super Horse, this is his first appearance ever. But this is the team. Crypto the Super Dog and Streaky the Super Cat. Michael Shannon. Yeah. Michael Shannon. Yep. Thank you, AOA. I'll get to you guys in a second. John, I will add you as a moderator. Sith Rule, you will be a moderator when we're done. Let's go ahead and continue on this little spec journey. Okay, so this is like a modern. I do own this book. It's not listed or anything like that on my eBay. It's probably in a long box, but I remember finding this at what was that place we went to, John, first Cal's place. It was called McFly's Comics. That was I didn't buy it that day, but I got this book there. I think it was like $10 and it had the white sticker, so it was half off. Got it for $5. But this is a solo story. It's a really important solo story because you get the modern appearance and kind of a back origin of the modern Crypto the dog. And this is your solo story featuring Crypto, originally meant to be published about 4 or 5 years earlier in Superman number 659. All right, guys, let me get to the chat real quick, and then we'll get to our next story here. So, boy, we have a lot of comments here, and I really appreciate it. I love you guys. You guys are showing me a lot of support. This means so much to me. John says, I'm definitely more interested in old-fashioned or old-school approach. Let me go back here. Old-school approach to Superman. I need a palate cleanse. Okay, so we went over that one right here. AOA says, I picked up AC number 6. Okay, we went over that one. They need crypto. Okay, yeah, so that is a great comment. This is what I want. So John is saying that if they want Supergirl to be adapted into the DCEU, whatever you guys want to call it, universe, especially the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, he's saying they have to have Crypto because he knows John has been following this version of the character along with the older character as well of Crypto, and he knows that this character is also important to Supergirl. John goes on and says, you should be a moderator. Okay, let's talk about that later. I appreciate you, John. You're awesome, dude. Superboy number 82, July 1960. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It shows you how freaking old I was. What number did I say, AOA? Like, did I say Superman 12 or 10 or something like that? I'm older than shit. Older than dirt. No, I'm kidding. All right. Michael Shannon, thank you. So Michael Shannon was casted as General Zod. Like I said, just a little side note, Michael Shannon is one of my favorite actors. I think he's amazing. He was in a series with the dude that played Mike Murphy in Lone Survivor. And also he was in Savages, but I forgot his name. And the guy plays an older David Koresh, and Michael Shannon plays the FBI negotiator Gary Nasser. He was in the first series a few years ago. Now there's a new series. I believe the season finale might have it's actually, if you have on demand or Prime, it's actually showing on there. It's called Waco, the Aftermath. I highly recommend it. It shows the connection between Ruby Ridge, Waco, and then the OKC federal bombing by Tim McVeigh on April 19th, the anniversary of the Waco disaster. So yeah, Michael Shannon has been shown in the General Zod DCU costume multiple times all over the internet and also on TV. So I don't know if he's actually we're gonna have some new scenes with him, and he's actually going to be a part of these productions, but because it could be some kind of flashback and then like cut scenes that they put in there, but just be aware. Okay. Thank you for that, AOA. Bizarro Lex is a good guy. Sad story, poor Crypto. McFly's. Yeah. So that's where I got this book when I first, when I actually was the first day I actually went to Cal's, the guy that owns McFly's, and I got this book for half off. Got some good books also with John when we went. We'll talk about that later. I'll talk to John. Maybe me and him will do a live stream. We'll talk about our little adventure, and he can reminisce on how funny it was when Jeff J&J Comics was berating me in public. Let's see. Yes, totally agree. Hey, what's up, Funk Comics 814? What's up, man? Oh, is that the Power Scrolls or is that Talos? I think that's the Super Scroll, right? Yeah, because he's got the chain on. That's sick thumbnail, bro. Sick thumbnail. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. John goes on and says, Funk, what's up, buddy? Okay, so they know. All right, thank you, John. I appreciate that. They're talking to each other in the chat. Chat's fired tonight. What's up, PAC, aka Planet AZ Comics? What's up, my man? What's up, Richie? I like the new name for the channel. I appreciate that. And thanks, Sith Rule, as well. He's the one that opened my mind. I went that way. Appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys. I'm not kidding around. AOA, finally, at the end, he says, Superman 712 has a sweet 1 in 10 incentive variant by Stanley Lau, aka Art Germ. So thank you for that info. That's great info. I'm glad that We talked about that, and then we'll final it out with aggressively relaxing. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to hear about crypto. I wish that James Gunn would just use the cast from Super Pets. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good opinion. That's a strong opinion as well. So I have to think about that. Thank you for that. All right, so let's get back into this. So, some news today. This actually came out today. Captain Marvel 2 will rely on these 3 Disney Plus shows, and this is confirmed, guys. Confirmed. Okay, so let's get into this. This article's by Klein Felt. He works for The Direct, which is one of Daniel RPK, aka Daniel Rickman's home sites that he drops a lot of his scoops and confirmed news on. So let's go ahead. It says the Marvels and Secret Invasion star Samuel L. Jackson revealed the Disney Plus shows that the upcoming Captain Marvel sequel, aka The Marvels, will rely on. After more than 4 years since her last solo adventure, Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, will return to the big screen in Nia DaCosta's The Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2. However, while her first film may have been a largely singular story about the origins of Larson's Kree warrior turned hero in the MCU universe, which is Earth 199999, not 616, just to let you know how I feel about that. Captain Marvel 2 will be a group affair, quote, akin to the first Avengers film, end quote, with the likes of Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan, and Tiana Paris's Monica Rambeau. I really like Monica Rambeau. I like Tiana Paris. I thought they casted a perfect actor for that role. I really like Monica Rambeau. I don't understand why her books are not moving. We all know she's going to be a big time part of Captain Marvel 2, but the market sucks right now. So let's get into this a little further. What to watch before Captain Marvel 2. So according to the Marvel star Samuel L. Jackson, who spoke in the latest issue of Empire magazine, there are 3 Disney Plus series to watch before the Marvel hits the theaters. That way you can be well informed and you can probably understand the connection and the continuity attempt by the production team. So the first one is WandaVision. Okay, so you want to watch WandaVision first. The MCU's first Disney Plus series. We all remember it. We were all still in the pandemic. I was at Flipside with Brian and everybody. But anyways, the MCU's first Disney Plus series, WandaVision, appears on this list of must-watches for the Captain Marvel sequel because of its introduction to Tiana Paris, aka Monica Rambeau. As the S.H.I.E.L.D. scientists investigated the illusion Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff had cast on the entire town of Westview in the state of New Jersey in the MCU continuity universe, she discovered superpowers of her own, becoming the Marvel hero known as Photon. Ooh, I love that part. I'm getting chills. I must have watched it like 10 times too. With Monica being the daughter of Carol's best friend and wingman, Maria Rambeau, like in the Captain Marvel film, played by Lashana Lynch in Captain Marvel #1. Surely this complicated relationship between the two will be at the heart of the MCU blockbuster. So let's get into this. WandaVision, here we go. So here is your first appearance of Monica Rambeau, and in this issue, she's actually Captain Marvel. A lot of people are saying the second Captain Marvel. Actually, it's the third, I believe, Captain Marvel. Because remember, the first Captain Marvel was a man. So, and are we going as far as saying this is a first cover? I am, because that's her. Even though it's just her backside. But anyways, Monica Rambeau later becomes Photon, as you guys know, and then Spectrum. Here is the some of the guts of this book. You can see her up here in the top left. Very sensual, professional style woman. Looks like tall, long legs. There she is on the splash page. Who's that lady? Pretty cool. Who's that lady? So interesting. All right. Second appearance of Captain Marvel, which I think is a very undervalued book. This is second appearance of Captain Marvel #3, Monica Rambeau. Also in this issue, you have Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel joining the Avengers and becoming the first Black female Avenger. And I think that is very important. I think that is very important. It's important to me. I know it might not be important to you guys, but I think it's important. This is a dirt cheap book. You can find this book. With Mark Jewelers inserts. You can find this book. I believe there's a Canadian price variant. I'm almost positive because I think I have it on my list on my comic shop. And I believe the price is 75 cents on that. But this is a fun one, newsstand, direct edition, and it's dirt ass cheap. I think this one could get a bump, especially, if the MCU goes and they mention anything that has to do with the source material. Of this issue as well. This book could see a severe bump. So dirt cheap book. I highly recommend it. This is your third appearance of Captain Marvel for all you third appearance Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, for all you third appearance and Monica Rambeau junkies. Here's a really important one. I don't own this book, but I am definitely going to be hunting this book probably this weekend. This is your first meeting of Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Carol Danvers discovers that Captain Marvel has died of cancer in this as well. But this is your first meeting. I heard some idiot on the internet the other day. I don't mean to call him an idiot. It was an idiotic statement saying that first meetings and first battles aren't keys. Come on, guys. At first, just because it doesn't have a first appearance of a new character doesn't mean it's not a key issue. Remember, keys, all these guys in the chat know key issues are anything that artistically or written, verbally, the story, that stands out, that makes history in comics. So that can be a first appearance, a first cover appearance. That could be an origin story. That can be the second appearance. That could be an infamous battle, an infamous meeting of two of the similar characters or two of the opposite characters that hate each other. Very important. You guys know that. But I'll be looking for this Marvel fanfare book. It's interesting. Here's some of the guts. Look at that. Look at the thing. He's like rubbing her belly like I do for my dog. I'm like, you want belly rub? He's like, relax, you guys. This is one of the Avengers, the newest Avengers. I'm surprised you haven't heard of her, Nick. He's like, what, Nick Fury, obviously. And he's like, I have been. I just never knew her name and entrance before. Very impressive. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind an introduction. Carol Danvers, meet Captain Marvel. That is so cool. So there's your first meeting. Oh, really? These have been a few changes since I left. She's certainly all new, all different. What? That's so cool. Did Marvel decide to retire, or is this some unexpected side of her character? So it's a little small. I can't really read it that well. I haven't read this before, but this is really fun. This is awesome. So yeah, that's the first time they're meeting, and I guess that at the same time that they're meeting, she's kind of finding out that Marvel, something's going on with Marvel because she's not there, and Monica Rambeau is there instead. So anybody who's emotional about cancer, I lost my mom to cancer. This is an emotional weekend for me and my family. I lost my mom to cancer January 13th. Was it January 13th? No, I'm sorry. God, it's been so long. It was January 13th, 2005. So it was like January. It was January 12th, and my mom slipped into a coma. The doctor came in and said that there was nothing they could do, and then my mom had cancer, obviously. And I remember her breathing, and she was breathing really hard, and she was in the coma or whatever. And it was about 2:30 in the morning on the 13th of 2005. And I remember my brother was only 16 at the time, was laying next to me on the couch, and I was dreaming. I was finally got some sleep. I was dreaming, and then all of a sudden I heard that breathing in my background stop. I woke right up, and my mom passed away. So anybody who's sensitive about this topic, you might want to be aware. I know I am. Excuse my French, but fuck cancer. Let's go. All right, this one is also very overlooked. Now, remember, there's a ton of copies out there, so you shouldn't have any problem finding high-grade copies. It is a tough book in high grade because this white box, is usually dirty, like you see on the screen. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this Solo Avengers book. But anyways, this is your first solo story featuring Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. You also have your first actual real appearance of Trick Shot, but not the brother. I believe this is Buck Chisholm in costume. I believe the first Trick Shot is what's his name's brother, right? So there's actually a first appearance of him in an Avengers like 82 or something like that. And Avengers, it's like an early bronze, it's like a 15-cent book. And then there's another new appearance of him in modern age. So, but this is the other Trick Shot, Buck Chisholm, as well. I think this is a fun book, and I don't know the date on this one. If there's not Mark Jeweler inserts available on this one, because this is during that time, there will be National Diamond insert variant editions on this book as well. So when you dig it out, if you see the newsstand, make sure you look at the centerfold, and if you see that insert in there, I don't care what shape it is, grab it up. All right. Here is the Captain Marvel #1. This is a giant size special. This is your first solo titled issue of course, Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel. It's first origin told of Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel's power. First appearance of Powder Keg, a mercenary. So it's pretty interesting. This one is has seen some major peaks and valleys. To me, this is a 50-cent book. I don't know the estimated print run numbers, what Comicron has on this, but this is Monica Rambeau becoming Photon. So she became Photon in WandaVision, right? And that's what everybody's saying, the MCU universe version. And this is your first appearance of her becoming Photon. This is Avengers Unplugged, issue #5. There are newsstand copies of this. Be aware. I'm not sure if there are price variants, but there are newsstand copies of this. Monica Rambeau becomes Pulsar, formerly Photon. This is the new Thunderbolts. This is issue #9. I don't know if there's newsstand copies, but I would imagine there probably is. And then first cameo team appearance of the Ultimates. This is Avengers #0, the Uncanny Avengers. Uncanny Avengers #0. First cameo team appearance of the Ultimates. That's Captain Marvel, Black Panther, America Chavez, Spectrum, and Blue Marvel. So Captain Marvel, Brie Larson in the Ultimate Universe, I believe. That is Earth 1610s, just so you know. And then Spectrum. I don't know if this book takes place in the 616 or the 1610, but I'm guessing it does it does take place probably in both. It's probably right around the excursion time, around 2015. Remember when Secret Wars, what's his name, Hickman's run, and then you have the excursion when 616 and the 1610 kind of clashed together. Well, this book came out right around then, so I'm guessing they probably are in both continuities. So that's pretty cool. You also get the first appearance of Robert Maverick in one. It's a cameo in my opinion, but anyways, I know how you guys feel about that. I want to get into it. And then he, in another run, which we'll talk about on another stream, he becomes the second Red Hulk. Actually, it's pretty cool. And that one's outside on continuity. All right. Let's go ahead and get it back into the chat, and we'll get back into this. So we have a couple of new people, and you know what, guys? I think my microphone's popping, and I can't find my cover, so just let me know if it's a little too loud for you guys. I'll turn it down. Planet Arizona says the first show and still the best. I appreciate you. Let's see here. AOA says Brie Larson is a smoke show, and I dig her. Okay, I think she's a smoke show too. I just don't think that. I don't know. Just based on what I've heard in the media news, because the news is always right. You know, if it's on the news, it's always true. No, I'm kidding. But the how strong she is with social justice, I think if she knew how we thought she was a smoke show, I don't think she would be interested. But she just seems like that kind of person. Like whatever's cool is not cool kind of deal. But anyways, John's Comics and Kids says I agree. Her second appearance is very cheap. And remember, guys, that is the book that he is talking about which we both like, is this book right here. This is Avengers number 227. Subamars says, "Hey, welcome, Subamars. I don't recognize your name, and if I forgot, I apologize. Thank you for coming. It means a lot." He says, "I hope Brie Larson becomes a Jedi more powerful than Master Yoda and Luke combined, and she'll have a purple lightsaber." Saber, that would be awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you very much. Really appreciate this. Cosmic Toby, 911. Also, I don't recognize the name, but I apologize if I'm forgetting. Probably, I'm sure you probably watch our Friday night show on Ben's channel, the House of Stein, the Hot 10. He goes on and says, May 20th, you can go to Comic Revolution in Ontario, California, and June 23rd, you may attend San Diego Comic-Con. Happy hunting. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I didn't know when I was actually just thinking, when is that Ontario show again? So we're coming up on it. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And thank you for your subscription and your view. I appreciate it. John's Comics and Kids says, so sorry to hear about, but yeah. It's been a long time. I appreciate that. It means a lot. It's been almost 20 years. So, it's like 18 years, it doesn't really like bum me out. It's just, my sister was really close to my mom. And, when I see my sister bummed out, it bums me out. It just brings back some kind of shitty feelings. So it always happens like around Mother's Day. And if my sister's watching, I love you, Dee Dee. She's recovering from surgery right now. I'm thinking about you all the time. And we need to get together. And congratulations, Preston and Skylar McKenzie. They just graduated. Skylar and McKenzie are my nieces. They're twins. They just graduated with their master's degree. And my nephew just graduated, or he's about to graduate high school in Las Vegas. So, all right, let's get back into this. So the next show here is Miss Marvel D+ series. What they're saying, the reason why they want you to watch the Miss Marvel Kamala Khan series is they're saying that showcasing the origin of another hero that will be central to the happenings of the Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2 and the MCU, was Miss Marvel's Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. Serving as Vellani's on-screen debut, this coming-of-age comedy showcased an Avengers superfan both in and out of the Marvel Studios universe, grappling with the familial. I can't pronounce that. John's a teacher, so he's probably hating me right now. He's like, man, I gotta tutor this guy. Familial. Familial. I can't pronounce that. Expectations, the throes of high school, and becoming Jersey City's very own teenage superhero. I love that series. It was so good. Seeing as Kamala was a Captain Marvel mega fan seen throughout the series, and Brie Larson's Carol Danvers even popped up in the show's post-credit scenes. That was awesome sequence. Miss Marvel looks as though it will be the closest thing to a direct prequel to the upcoming MCU sequel. So I think that's pretty cool. And then the third that they mention is Secret Invasion. Now you might be wondering, what the hell does Secret Invasion have to do with this? Well, let's go into it. If you haven't seen Captain Marvel 1, spoiler alert, guys, and if you haven't seen it by now, you're probably never going to see it, but I highly recommend it. I liked it. It wasn't the best MCU movie, but compared to Phase 4, it was really good. But anyways, and the most current project to appear on Samuel Jackson's list was his upcoming espionage thriller series, Secret Invasion. It remains unknown the exact specifics of how this streaming show will play into the Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2 and the MCU, as it has yet to be released at the time of writing. However, with the scrolls at the center of the, quote, invasion, end quote, having first been introduced in Captain Marvel #1, the show will no doubtingly play into Brie Larson's led sequel. Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury has been confirmed to play into Captain Marvel 2, aka the Marvels, and according to the actor, which is Samuel Jackson, Secret Invasion has, quote, has to happen so that the Marvels can happen, end quote, noting that the pair, quote, are connecting in an interesting sort of way, end quote. The Marvel's pre-watch list. While not mentioned by Samuel L. Jackson in his list of must-watches before the Marvels, there are others that fans looking for a little extra credit can enjoy before the Captain Marvel sequel comes to theaters. It might seem obvious, but Captain Marvel has to be at the top of that list, as this 2019 blockbuster introduced fans to Brie Larson's take on the iconic Marvel comic character for the first time. This intergalactic adventure, Secret Invasion, D+ series, may have largely taken place during the 90s. So it's going to be flashbacked and possibly some retconning going on. Just be aware. During the 1990s, but it introduced audiences to elements that will be key to the sequel, including the Rambeau family and multiple different Skrulls. The other big screen adventures to stream in advance of the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels, are Avengers Infinity War, where the character was teased in the post-credit scenes, Avengers Endgame, which saw Carol Danvers join the Avengers and take Thanos' army and then went through the Black Order's ship like it was like cream cheese. I was insane. And Shang-Chi and the Legend and the Ten Rings, where Captain Marvel cameos in a shocking stinger alongside Simon Liu, Benedict Wong, and Awkwafina. Captain Marvel 2, aka The Marvels, is slated to be dropped. I believe it's like November 9th or 10th or something like that. So, yeah. All right. Michael Gandolfini from the set of Daredevil Born Again. This is your new series, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look of this real quick here. So let's share my screen. And let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and read as you guys are looking at this. All right. So it basically says that when will Michael Gandolfini's MCU character be revealed? And this is what my thumbnail was about. And this is why we're going to talk about this. With so many questions surrounding Marvel Studios' first official attempt at a Daredevil story, Michael Gandolfini's role will be a hot topic of conversation as the reboot continues production. That's when they say reboot. If you're not familiar, that is a reboot of the Daredevil Marvel TV series that's on Netflix. Particularly with Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin gaining new life in this series after his thrilling comeback in the Hawkeye series. Seeing Gandolfini have any kind of meaningful connection to Wilson Fisk would add a new layer of depth to the story. Gandolfini's new role will only be one that fans are looking forward to finding more information about, especially considering the MCU cameos that will be utilized to tie the series back to the larger narrative. But the MCU likely facing a number of delays, of course, with everything that's going on with them, to its release schedule or slate, aka slate, in the near future. The newcomer may remain in the shadows for a while longer as the series continues filming. It's slated right now for around this time next year, which is 2024. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here are scenes from the actual set. Okay, so he's getting out of a taxi, right? Now remember, me included, multiple have been specking that. And by the way, this is James Gandolfini's, the late great James Gandolfini's son, Michael. He was in that movie, Many Saints of Newark, I believe it's called. It's kind of like, it was like a spinoff to The Sopranos. But anyways, he's getting out of a taxi here. Here's him kind of just like looking the other way. Look, he I think he has like 4s on. What, or no, are those 5s? Jordan 5s, blue and white. That's pretty cool. Here's him looking at the camera again. Here's him like doing like a Vogue kind of GQ kind of deal, like looking very confident, kind of like maybe he's he's thinking about shit, or maybe he is running shit, or maybe he's about to run shit. So that's going to segue into my next situation here. Let's get in that. All right. There, he looks just like dad too. He needs to hit the tanning salon, but yeah. All right. So here's the Rose. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Rose is Richard Fisk. That is Wilson Fisk's son. Okay. Wilson and Kingpin and Vanessa Fisk's son. He becomes the Rose. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, here is your first appearance of Richard Fisk, the son of Vanessa and Wilson Fisk, Richard Fisk. He's the schemer in here. Shout out to Ultra. He's the one that he was pretty quick to spec on this book. ASM number 83. You also get the first full appearance of Vanessa Fisk. That's mom and also Kingpin's wife. All right, here's your first appearance of Richard Fisk as the Rose, guys. I've talked about this book many times. I was really early on this book. I invested pretty heavily. A lot of people like this book because of the black suit Spidey's on top. People are gangs trying to jump him or whatever, but he looks like he's holding his own. But you see the Rose in the back, Richard Fisk with his little blade. He's trying to he's getting ready. So he was formerly the schemer, which we just talked about. Now there is another iteration of the Rose, and the iteration of the Rose is Philip Hayes. This is when he takes the mantle. Actually, this would be the fourth individual. I don't know why I said another, but this is the fourth individual to take the Rose. But this one's cool because this is your first solo title series featuring the new jackpot of Sarah Errett. I like this book. And there's also newsstand copies of this book. It's just very low print book for a number one issue. It's a three issue miniseries. Very cool cover as well. But yeah, so going back into it. So that's the Rose. Now here is the other deal. Here you have ASM 50, of course, is your first appearance of Wilson Fisk, of course, I mean, this is no secret. This is a fucking huge book, freaking huge book. This is a holy grail, and it's tough and high grade as well, that red. Here's the guts. Very cool. Very cool. He's, he looks like he's about in his 50s at that point, This book right here, I think, is very undervalued. I think this book really has some profit margin to gain. I think it is a great investment. That's my opinion. I own one copy of this book. I've owned multiple copies, like low end copies, but I'm looking for something really high grade before we get a bump on this thing, because this thing, in my opinion, is very undervalued. You have your first cover appearance and the second appearance of Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. And then you also have your first appearance of Robbie Robertson, who, I don't know if you guys know this, was a mentor to Peter Parker at his work, the Daily Bugle. And he basically foiled what's his name, Jonah Jameson, over some stuff, some fake pics and stuff in his origin and stuff. It's really interesting, but I think this book's very important, and I love the cover on this. It's not an iconic cover, but it's definitely a classic cover, and I think it's very cheap and affordable. And I think once that we get more news, I think this thing can bump. So be aware. All right, here is your first reprint of Kingpin's first appearance from ASM number 50 from 1967. This is the first time it was reprinted. This is the king size special of ASM number 8, and first reprint also of Shocker's first appearance in ASM number 46 in volume 1. This is another reprint of ASM number 50. Shout out to Mr. Longshort. He was putting this newsstands on his IG. If you're not subbed to my boy, Mr. Longshort, please do. Fortunately, I don't ever get to talk to him or communicate with him besides IG. We do talk on the phone once in a while, but really good, really smart with the market on collectibles, especially comics. You get the reprint of ASM 50 in this as well. There are newsstand copies. There are I believe they're 95-cent Canadian price variants, but if they're not, there's definitely Mark Jeweler insert edition variants. Those are rare. Those are hard to find. This one is important as well. This is your Daredevil number 170. This is your first appearance of Kingpin in a Daredevil title. It's very important because this Daredevil Born Again series on the MCU, the source material is coming from this Frank Miller, this Born Again, number 170 all the way through modern era when he becomes the mayor and shit. So it's very important. Kingpin's name is revealed also in this to be Wilson Fisk. This is the first meeting and battle of Daredevil and Kingpin. It's got a classic cover art. I'm surprised this has not become an iconic cover. There are Whitman first print editions, there are Mark Jewelers editions, and there are I don't think there's Canadian price variants, but I think there's Australian price variants. Double check that. Here is a book I have listed on eBay, but I took the listing down before the show because, and I want to disclose and be transparent with you guys that I am so sorely against pump and dumping. I do not like that shit. And I had this listed on my eBay. I took it down before the show, and I'm not going to put it up for at least for a couple of weeks because I want to talk about this. So, but this is Kingpin discovers who actually Daredevil is. He finds out he's Matt Murdock, and this is Born Again Part 1. It runs through Daredevil issue number 233, and this is your very important and main source material for the Daredevil Born Again MCU series. Here's some of the guts of this. Pretty cool. This Spider-Man right here. Origin of Kingpin, specifically the moment he became Kingpin after killing his previous boss. This is Daredevil Man Without Fear number 3. Now, here is the book that I'm talking about. All right, so is Michael Gandolfini going to be Richard Fisk the Rose, son of Kingpin, or are we going to see flashback scenes of Kingpin as a young man right here? That's what the story is about here. This is Kingpin number 1, your first solo series featuring the Kingpin. First origin told of the Kingpin, Willie Fisk, not Wilson Fisk, Willie Fisk. They call him Willie Fisk. He's Wilson, but as a young man on the way to becoming the Kingpin of crime. And this is the retconned first appearance of Willie Fisk as a young man. Let's take a look. So here he is right here. Is the guts. All the King's Men is the story title. You know, he loves jazz. He seems like when you read more about his like upbringing and his origin, he seemed like he was like raised really well and like a good person deep down inside, but more like an antihero. But he's just got this really messed up side to him. Anyways, he's in this bar and he's talking to a few of the barflies. A couple of the gentlemen are African American and they're talking about jazz and stuff like that. And he's asking about these certain, musicians and stuff like that. And then he goes back to his gang, his crew, and he's basically trying to convince him in his own. Now, remember, he's young. This Wilson Fisk is like 23 years old. Okay, 24 years old, and he's trying to convince these guys, hey man, I don't remember what they're called, but I think it was like a spinoff of the Gambinos. They called them like the Gambit family or the Gillen family or something, but they're like this mafia that runs New York City in Hell's Kitchen. And basically what he's trying to get his crew to do is to take him out. Well, because he wants to be the kingpin of all of New York. But on top of that, he wants to run shit, especially in Hell's Kitchen. And they basically don't want to do it. So he basically sets up one of his lieutenants and to basically betray one of these made mafioso of the Gambino spinoff family. I forgot what they're called, but of his wife or girlfriend or fiance, and he hooks them up. Okay. And then he betrays his own friend and goes back to the mafia guy and tells him about it. So he goes back in it, and then he goes to the mafia guy and he's talking to him here. And he's like, he's trying to get the crews together. He doesn't want, he's not Italian or anything like that, but he can be made, but he wants to put this Italian mafia family and his crew together to run New York City. And this guy's basically saying, no, what the fuck we want to do that for, And he's like, well, I got something for you. I got something for you, I got some news. I got some good stuff for you. And he's like, what is it? And he reveals that his chick, his fiance, his woman is with the mafia's fiance woman is with Kingpin's lieutenant. Okay. And what that does is that causes like a battle between not his whole crew, but that one man against that made mafia guy. And what happens is that mafia dude ends up killing that dude, the lieutenant. And because he did him that favor, they become kind of like one crew. Now, Kingpin here, he's like at this bar. This is one of the musicians he was asking about. And they're, you know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like during the time of Frank Lucas and you guys have seen American Gangster, and then also the one Forrest Whitaker does the series. It's called what's it called? Shit, chat, help me out. Brooklyn, Godfather of Brooklyn, I think it's called. Well, they call it doogie, right? They call heroin doogie, and basically what doogie is, it's brown heroin. Kingpin doesn't like that shit, and even though he makes money on it in other stories, he doesn't like the fact his favorite musicians, he's really talented, you know, African American jazz players are being basically given this doogie, this heroin, for basically pennies on the dollar, so they can get hooked on it, and you know the powers above can take all their money and then also get all their friends and family hooked on it. He doesn't like that shit, especially because, you know, he's a big jazz fan. I think that's pretty cool too. He's talking to this guy about that. And then here is the part where they're basically his lieutenant is with that mafioso guy's wife, and they actually go and they start brawling or whatever. They're at Coney Island talking about it. And long story short, they end up, one of them ends up dead. Spider-Man jumps in the middle, you know, to he never minds his own business, Peter Parker. So he's got to go in there and flex his shit. And that was kind of like the first time that young Willie Fisk and Peter Parker kind of quarrel. Here it is right here. This is Willie Fisk, young Willie Fisk. He grabs a little kid, and because he wants Spider-Man to go away, because he needs this to happen, because he wants these two crews to be together so he can be the boss of all of them. He grabs this little kid and like jumps up on this roof, and Spider-Man's not going to let a little girl, you know, fall off. And then here, I just saw a comment right here. It says, if I'm not mistaken, Daredevil 20 to your first parents Camry. I don't know. I saw a comment right here. It said something about I showed you the guts of the Daredevil 227, but anyways, long story short, that was actually the guts of this. I messed up on the slide, but yeah, so he's right there. This is the same thing. You see him on the top. Spider-Man's taking out his crews, beating the shit out of these guys, and young Willie Fisk is like holding this little girl, about to drop her off the roof. So Spider-Man doesn't know what to do. So of course he's going to save the girl, right? So he ends up saving the girl, and this is the mafioso guy I was talking about. Here he is, and this is the guy in the middle right here, this bald guy who's one of his soldiers, that is telling him in his ear that Willie Fisk is here, and he has the information on the, you know, about his woman being with somebody else. And here it is. His woman's right there giving him a massage, like, you know, rubbing it back. Looking pimp slaps her. That's not cool. I'm not laughing at that. That's not cool. But yeah, then you know, he's got the knife, he's got the scar in the face and all that. Meanwhile, look at Willie Fisk is using this information, this very detrimental, unhealthy information, so he has something on him. So he owes him a favor, and now he wants these crews to be together so he can run shit. But unfortunately, he can't, because A, he's not fully Italian and not a made man, and B, well, this guy who's one of the leaders of this crew, that's his chick, and he finds out, or his woman, whatever. I apologize, I don't mean to say chick, but he finds out that she's sleeping with somebody else. Ends up being Kingpin's lieutenant. He gives them the information, and go to find out, guess who was sleeping with him with her the whole time? Fisk. Oh my god, it's so crazy. There's Fisk with his shirt off. Boy, look at that six-pack. Is that a six-pack or a keg? I don't know. But anyways, so I cut out that part. He actually kills her. But yeah, so these two actually are fighting right here. Now the lieutenant and the mafioso guy are fighting over this woman that Fisk was actually plugging, and ended up whacking her out. And this is what happens. As you can see, somebody's got stabbed and died. And you see the scar on his face. He's begging Kingpin of something. And it looks like to me the mafioso guy ends up coming out on top, and the lieutenant guy's begging for his lieutenant of Kingpin's crew, begging for his life. And if you see in the bottom panel, Kingpin, he actually waxed the guy. Kingpin and his new associate who runs this big Italian mafia gang, which was a spinoff to the Gambino family. That's what this story is. That's what this mafioso family is, a spinoff for a tie into the Gambino family, just a different name. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you use Popcorn 99 for 10% off Gemini. I want to go ahead and oh man, my internet went out. One sec. Yeah, my internet went out. So let's do a quick unboxing real quick. I have a couple books that I haven't gotten. What? All right, it's doing it again. I'm sorry, guys. My internet, I don't know what's going on. It's power flicks on and off. We have this, what are those things called with the electric, where like if you crash into it, all the electric goes out, all the power goes out. We have one of these by my house, and it's really sensitive for some reason. For some reason, it's just consistently flicking on and off. My power ends up flicking on and off. That means the internet goes off, and I have to wait for it to get back online. And this is Frontier Files. It takes forever. So I apologize for that. But what I was saying is that I want to hear your guys' comments. Do you guys think Michael Gandolfini is Kingpin, younger Kingpin, Willie Fisk, like I showed you in the Kingpin #1, or, you know, with those photos? Or do you guys think he is going to end up being the Rose, Richard Fisk, the son of Wilson and Vanessa Fisk? That's very important. I want to hear you guys' Transformer. Thank you for that. I want to hear you guys' opinion and speculation on that. It's going to be important to the community, so we don't waste any money or whatever, because a lot of us are heavily speculated that he's going to end up being Richard Fisk, the Rose. But after this new stuff's been coming out, this new news that's pretty hot, it sounds like they might do flashbacks and look at Michael Gandolfini as Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin in a younger version. But here was the catch. Those pictures are on set. He's got hair, and then when he was younger, he was like he was overweight and he was bald. So, but remember, it's two different continuities. There's comic 616, and then other universes, of course, 1610, and then there's MCU main continuity, Earth 1999. So they always have their own little new spin-off on characters. So they're original characters. So they could do that because with Phase 4, as you guys know, so much was different than the source material, aka the comics. And it pissed a lot of us off. And the stories ended up being boring or not that good. And like I've said multiple times, when shit like that happens with this adaptation stuff, I think it's kind of like a safe maneuver to fall back on the source material and make it more comic accurate. So will we see that? Because we've heard a lot of news recently that Feige is almost got fired and he's firing people and he's pissed off because of Phase 4. Is the MCU going to become more comic accurate? I really hope so. But I want to know your guys' opinion in the comments. All right, so let's do this unboxing, and then I'm going to break these right here. I'm going to let you guys go. This is the 2021-2022 Marvel Annual cards. Yeah, so let's go ahead and unbox this. I don't remember what this is, but I just got this in the mail. And if it is what I think it is, I only got it for like $16. I do have one listed on eBay. I will take it down. Don't buy it. Please don't do that. I have it listed for like $70 too. So, but I got this one cheap. I'll take it down right after this live stream. And if somebody buys it, I'm gonna have to cancel it, and I'll just give you it. But anyways, if it is what I think it is, yeah, it is. Okay, so this book right here, I was in it at this time. I pre-ordered this book, and I ended up getting 2 copies. Of course, I was stuck with 50. It's a 1 in 25 Marcos Martin. I was stuck with like 50 copies of cover A and the open to order covers, which some of them ended up being cool. But I was in this group called Facts, this really big spec group. It's led by this very seasoned, smart speculator named Bryan McClay, and used to give us really good stuff. And this is the one we got to jump on. And at one point, this book was like unfindable. This book was like, I don't know, like $100. But here you go. This is the Marcos Martin Silver Surfer Black #2, 1 in 25 incentive variant. Look, I still got the $20 price tag, and I think I paid $17 plus shipping. This is also your first appearance. It's just a brief appearance. It's in cameo of Norrin, the Silver Surfer, becoming the Void Knight, which the Void Knight is the herald for Null. Sorry about that, Candice, and thank you for the show. Cosmic Toby, thank you again. Marvel Knights, appreciate that. So here you go. Here's kind of like a good look at it. I think this book you can get it right now. I mean, there are some listings that are high like mine, because mine's super high grade. And if there is any bumps, I always press them for free for people that buy books. But anyways, this book is I found this book for $20, $23. It was Ben or BO, which is buy it now or best offer. So I gave the guys, I didn't want to go too low and be insulting. So I said $17. He accepted it a day later, and here it is. So yeah, I love this cover. It came out, I believe, the same week or maybe the week before or after, but I think it came out the same day as your first appearance of Star, which is the Captain Marvel #8. That had the 1 in 25 Shauna Zosky. It's a very similar kind of designed cover, very sought after, hard to find ghost, but this one's different as well, but different. I love it. So wanted to show you guys that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and rip these Marvel cards. Let's add to the screen. Let's go here. All right. Can you guys hear me? All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Did you guys not hear me? You guys couldn't hear me, huh? All right, let's do it this way. All right, guys, here we go. All right, so here is. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, you can hear me okay? Okay, good. Here we go. All right, here we go. So these are from the 2022, 2021, 2022 Marvel set, Marvel annual trading cards. So let's go ahead and get into these. Let's pull a banger. All right, so one premium insert per pack, 5 cards per pack, 6 packs per blaster box. Here is your hits ratios. It looks like it says base set parallels are blues are 1 of 1, so there's 1 in every pack. The canvases are 1 in 3 1/3 packs. Silvers are 1 in 5 packs, so you get 1 per blaster. Premium inserts, Star Rookies, Annual Impact, Humble Beginnings, and number 1 spot SSP are 1 in 384 packs. Creator Corners are 1 in 600 packs, and then what we're really looking for are the sketch cards. 1 in 3,848, 1 in 3,840 packs. So if you do the math and divide that by 6, that's like what, 500 blaster boxes? Let's get into it. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for putting up. Still trying to get smooth with these live streams, but AOA will explain. I'm a mess. Here we go. Avengers Mech Strike, number 1 spot. This is this book came out in 2021, I believe. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. There's an insert. There's a blue Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Interesting. No number. Captain Britain, Psylocke. That is Betty Braddock. And the Human Torch. Mixed pack. Yeah, that's it. Let's get a sketch card. There is Cable. What's the name? What's his real name? Nathaniel Summers, I believe. Something like that. The Thing. What the hell is... Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, so this is one of those canvas variants. What do we got behind there? This is one of those canvas variants. There's 1 in 3 1/3 pack, so some blaster box you'll get 2 of these, some you won't. All right, what's going on here? What's this? What is this? Mr. Fantastic. What is this? It looks like a mosaic. Backscatters. So interesting, huh? That's nice. And plus, like Ben was saying, they're pushing. The MCU is pushing Ultimate Fantastic Four right now because of this guy right behind there, the actor that plays him. He stuck his hand in the cookie jar and got chopped off. That's King the Conqueror's actor, Jonathan Weathers, I think his name is. There is Storm. I love Storm. All right, next pack. Okay, this is Multiple Man as part of the X Corp run from 2021. No number. H20. Oh, no, X23. That X looks like an H. I was like, H23. You better not mess up Laura Kenny's number. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Humble Beginnings with Mr. Fantastic. Very cool. No number. Interesting. Wait. He looks like he's going to become the maker right there, huh? Let's put that to the side. There's a blue Quasar, the male Quasar, not Phi L. That's cool. And then you have Gilgamesh. All right. We're almost done with this blaster box break. If you guys are flipping comics or shipping comics or any kind of collectible literature, make sure you use Popcorn 99, all one word, so you can get that 10% off before I remove it. Scarlet Spider. We have a silver. These are 1 in 5 packs. America Chavez silver. Nice. These things fetch a little bit of cash raw on the secondary. I think they're about five to $10. Very cool. Very cool. There's a blue Iron Man. Interesting. Very interesting. Spider-Man looks like Peter Parker. And White Fox. Hell yeah. Love me some White Fox, right, guys? All right. 2 more packs and we are done. I love you all. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I appreciate you guys. All my new subscribers, thank you so much. This is Toad, Hercules, Beta Ray Bill, #1. This is the #1 spot, first issue, first solo series of Beta Ray Bill. This comic came out, I think, in 2020, maybe 2021. No, 2021. So it's annual 21, 22. Okay, I get it. Okay. There. Ooh, there's our girl, guys. Magic. Oh, I love her. I believe her first appearance is like in a New Mutants book. But what's her name played her in New Mutants. I thought she was really good. The one that plays in the Queen Gambit and also the Menu. She's great. And then there is the Red She-Hulk. But for some reason, why didn't they just put She-Hulk? Oh, because this is the Winter She-Hulk. That's what the Winter Guard captured She-Hulk, hoping to use their mind to brainwash her and transform her into their weapon. She resisted her mind control process, but became Winter Hulk. So I think there's like a first cameo full in a cover. It's from the Avengers run, I believe, in 2021. So interesting. All right, last pack, last chance to get a sketch card. I'm going to go out after this. Thank you, guys. There is Doyle's dad, Dormammu. There is another canvas variant of Faustus. There is Sam Alexander's Nova in a blue. There is Sam Wilson's Captain America. And last card is Kraven the Hunter. Thank you all. Love you all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.